Well, we're gonna finally get Dad's new John Deere 2025R out. We got this little trench that he hand dug to drain the garden a little bit. So now we're gonna use the tractor with the tiller on it to make this trench into more of a little ditch.
So we ended up taking 2 more paths with the tiller and ended up with a tilled section about 8 feet wide, which was centered on the old trench. So then I just came back with the front end loader and went straight down in the center of where the trench was going to be, and I just started pulling back dirt. What I wanted to do was create a shallow ditch that would allow for using the lawnmower to cut the grass. We want to plant grass in this ditch and then make it easy for Dad to cut the grass. So we want a nice gentle slope, and I think in the end here you'll see that we ended up with a pretty good results. So once I get out of the way here, you can see that it looks pretty good. You know, we got a nice shallow slope, and that's the left half is done, and now we want to do the same thing on the other side, which created a little bit of a dilemma for us because we had that big white pine right there where we couldn't get the tractor and do the same thing. So I ended up having to come to either scoop it from the left side or pull it across, which wasn't ideal, but it did end up working out pretty good in the end. I think it passes JAG's inspection too here. So Dad and Jay both have a lot of time on tractors, but not a lot of time with the front end loader. So really the best way to get comfortable using that front end loader is just to get on it and start using it. You know, and a project like this is perfect because there's not a lot of things you can run into. There's not a lot of traffic going by or anything you have to worry about. So you can just concentrate on just getting comfortable with the controls and the bucket. So, and Jay, you know, did this side of the trench and did a really good job. So that's it. You know, if you're new to a compact tractor with a loader, really the best thing you can do is just go out and just start moving dirt around. Here you can see where that tree is kind of in our way. And also the ground's pretty soft back there. It was pretty wet. We actually had water coming out of the ground once we started working it up. So we might have to come back and touch that area up once it dries out a little bit. But you can see here when I go across the trench, you can see what kind of a dip we got there. So it's going to end up being pretty good, I think, to drain that garden. So the garden, normally it's not bad, but sometimes we get a huge downpour or a couple days of storms or something, and the garden can get flooded. Last year we lost some potatoes, and the corn didn't do really well last year because of how much rain we had. So this little trench here is really going to help out to drain the garden. And we're also, all that dirt we're taking out of there, we end up putting in the lowest spots of the garden to help bring that up too. So I think in the end we're going to have pretty good results with this little drainage ditch. So now I'm just running across one last time, all the way across the ditch, start the far side, drag the bucket down, and I put more pressure as I'm getting down to the center, and then pull it back up. That one didn't work out too good right there. So I start the far side, and as I come across the ditch, I just put a little more pressure down to the center of the gully, and then ease it up as I come back up. You can see it leaves a real nice trench there, nice little ditch. So after we did this, we just ended up doing some hand raking, and it's about ready for grass seed. So I just wanted to lay this board across and show you the profile of the ditch that we dug. You can see we're about 5.5 inches deep, and the nice gentle slope on both sides. So I think that's going to work out really good for us. So then the other thing is we use an auto level to look at the grading here from here down to the end. To make sure it was going to work, and then in the end we ended up having about 6 inches of fall from right here at the corner of the garden down there about 40 feet or so to the end. So about 6 inches of fall there, and then then the grade just naturally slopes all the way down to the river down there. So you can see down here where we might have a little bit more work to do. That part there was pretty wet. So we're going to let this dry out a little bit, and we'll come back and maybe regrade this part here and see how soft it is still. Hey, you're kind of in the way there, mister. Come here. Over here with me. Come on. Oh, Bubby. Come here. Turn around. Turn around. Look at the camera. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and if you have a drainage problem around your property that you need to find a solution for, maybe this will give you some ideas. If you like other tractor videos, I'll put them up here in this card, and then down here in this card will be a video that YouTube thinks you might want to watch. Thanks.